What's going on, dudes? Ghxst here, and welcome back to some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. This is part 35. If you guys remember last episode, I damn near lost my mind because so much was thrown at me at one time. So I'm gonna give the keynotes and then of what I remember because I do not remember a lot because it was a lot. So apparently, the the Joe Dark incident was also the L9 incident. Uh, Jake Marshall had a brother named Neil Marshall who was a victim of the SL9 incident, and he's trying to get, I guess he's trying to get back at his killer or something like that. I don't know. Um, Apparently Jake Marshall was disguised as a Goodman to get into the evidence room. He got cut. That's why the cloth was hanging out his locker and whatnot. And then now the trial has come full circle now because the killing that took place in the evidence room was fake. Now the one that took place in the parking lot is the real one, and now it's back pinned on Lana Skye. And now Jake asked her, was she using legitimate evidence? And now she want to come out and say that she had to use drastic measures, meaning she really came up here and said she forced evidence just to get a verdict that she liked, which sounds strikingly familiar to Edgeworth, I'll be honest. But at the end of the day, I'm confused because at the end of the day, bro got what he wanted. I don't know what he's mad about, but it's insane. I'm not gonna lie. If you guys like to see and want more videos about Ace Attorney, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get back into the game. Holy! One more investigation is insane. I was under the assumption that we were in that trial for 3 hours. Anyway, February 24th, 3:20, blah, 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 blah. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, Emma came back. Like I said, a lot happened last episode. I forgot she came back. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. But Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what do you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night of the prosecutor, on the night prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? Don't this dude look like the dude from Monster? I don't know if y'all ever seen the anime. What was it? Funny enough, his name, I think his name was like Joe Lockhart or something like that, or John, Joe, something like that. He looked like that dude from Monster. If y'all don't know what Monster is, go check it out. It's really good. But what? He tried to kill you? Whoa, whoa. Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So that means you... Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark killings. I didn't see that one coming. I actually didn't either. Shoot! Talk! Talk! Please! After what happened 2 years ago, it was right about this time of year too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Darke tried to take me hostage. Before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed out the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. A permanent picture? What happened after the incident before I get to the permanent picture crap? I don't remember the moment when Darke stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No. I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why Lana said she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean, provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true. Even though he may not have known it, Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. What did you see in that instant that crime occurred? What do you think she saw, Phoenix? Drake knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl? I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma. You've been through so much. This is much more eerie than usual. Like, these past trials were like kind of like goofy and funny, but this one is grim. Like, golly. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago, you must have been 14. That's understandable. I thought she was 17. Anyways. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's something that's still puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at the time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor. Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Darke had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happens at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. Okay. She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me, right? That's news to me too, Phoenix. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective? I better not have another talk. I better have another talk with her. I think I know where we have to move, but... Oh, I still have all these places I can go to. Okay. Lana! Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. You sure do. For someone who claims to be not guilty, for someone I'm trying to defend, you are very guilty. For a lot of things, actually. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. I gotta pop my back for a minute, y'all. Give me a second. Alright. My bad. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about the unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have the right to know, Mr. Wright. It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. She and Gant has something going on? Why is she posing? Why is she looking back at it like that? They still talk about how all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant? He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant, he was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes, so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. Today's trial. A lot of revelations were uncovered at this trial today, not the least which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. You're telling me, because boy, last episode was crazy. Evidence from the case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Damn! I sold my soul. That is a crazy line. Whoever wrote this needs a promotion. I know this is an old game, but this game's like 20 years old, but whoever wrote this is something else. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15 there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana, what the witness, Miss Starr, said? About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife? Are you gonna stick to your saying that you did it, or what? Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right? Yes, Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigation. They even had the same office? We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Oh, I see him down there. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was a serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma? Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So we waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down and fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. I can't blame her. After all, her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were involved in the SL9 incident? That's right. Quite the coincidence, I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall, yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case was just might not be over yet. Emma was absolutely assaulted by Dark and the police department, right? Yes, and in the office that Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself, the chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. You ain't said nothing but a word. Move, move, move. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. The chief detectives seems the same though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right. We didn't come back here later. You said go to the police department or whatever. Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Mr. Marshall. Never thought things would turn out the way this way when I woke up this morning. Que sera. You never know what life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. People have pet cactuses? Okay. I've heard of pet rocks, but okay. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? How do prosecutors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean, fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip? That's the John Darkes. That was Joe Darkes, alright. I keep saying John. Anyway. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there was a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. The scars that the SL9 incident left behind. I got the looks, but he's got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he? Your brother? He was 27 at the time. Damn, he died young. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the King of Prosecutors. I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew it. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They? What are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean, Damon Gant and Lana Skye. The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and his second in command, Lana Skye, were there wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After that case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah. Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Skye was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lana's secret. It's all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. What is going on in the police office today? Damon Gant and Lana Skye got some real dirt on them, for real. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. What was that? Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. So he's getting fired. So he's turning himself in for... Okay. The place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. With the chief prosecutor saying what he did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I believe it. I think festive is the word usually used for those. Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and Take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Emma, come on now. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. Is that a giant accordion? And you see the picture of Neil and them and whatnot in on the side? That's the big accordion that they use for this soundtrack. Whoa, where am I? In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door. What office you know got a giant accordion in the middle of it? Or harpsichord, whatever it's called. Check out that pipe organ. Organ, there you go. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. You played an organ in kindergarten? Isn't that a little big for you? They used to call me Little Miss Batch. I thought I was a genius. I thought I was a genius until they tried to teach me. I never could remember where C was. Hmm? Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading on his desk. So, Righto, have you been swimming lately? No I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? What do you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years ago have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. I see that big picture on the wall over there. Or see that big picture on the wall over there? Am I tripping? Oh, never mind. That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it though. Golly, more evidence. Oh god. Alright. Photo Gant team picture. Photo of the awards ceremony of Gant, Lana, and Neil. What's off about it? I'm gonna look at it later. Anyways, I like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together. Oh, but this office. It was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. All the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Oh. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. You have something to hide. Looks like we aren't welcome. It seems that case isn't over yet, after all. What do you mean? Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? There's got to be a way we can get inside the chief's office. You ain't said nothing but a word. Oh yeah, I was supposed to be... Before I continue, I'm gonna look at this picture. I think I have an idea of what the off-putting picture is. The jar in the back. That's also evidence. And it's broken still. But hold on, I'm gonna show. Yeah, this jar right here. It's the same one that's in this picture. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe. Aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? Just taking a breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long? Actually, from serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No, why? Or no, why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. This man Edgeworth ain't been out of trouble since we got him cleared from Von Karma. Jesus, give it a rest. It's almost like the battles between you two in court. That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. I low-key don't want to talk right now. I want to boogie. I want to move to the chief's office. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Gotta pop my back again. Been sitting in this chair for a good minute. Got some stretches after this video. Regardless, a prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been lots of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this, are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better receipt I know for making enemies. Or recipe, whatever it said. Hey, Dick. Keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat. Yes, sir. You gotta take me back to the joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir. It seems you don't have any problems. It seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyways, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing. He seems genuinely concerned for Mr. Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall who was protecting some girl? Me. Seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see. I think it has something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forgot. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? His powers of recollection never fail to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. Joe Dark was 42 and he was moving that fast and killing that many people at 42. In a way, that's impressive. Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. A businessman? What made him take to serial killing? One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. With his car? So, it was an accident? An accident, yes. But it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed a man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed a lady. Whoa! Then he killed a kid. And then a jogger came up to the scene and he killed him. Finally turned himself in. Jesus! He killed. Okay, so he killed someone with a car. He killed someone with a witness. A lady. A dog. A kid. And then a jogger. And then killed Marshall. That is 6 people. Jesus. Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in? Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall. Where's his hat? Anyway. Top of his head looked like an onion. Anyway. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. It was a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness, aka Emma. So if I show him this knife, will it do anything? About this. Hey, is that? It has the tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe it would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you going to do with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in the locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again! That knife, it was Joe Darke's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at. Plus, it was his fingerprints on it. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it too. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well anyways. Take a guess of where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. Oh, brother, imagine getting stabbed and the weapon is still in your body. That's different. It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Dark's knife? You bet. Down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Neil's autopsy report. Stabbed in the back. Died from a punctured heart and lung. Jesus. Knife tip was found in the wound. Switchblade knife. The broken tip of the knife was found in the victim's body. Belonged to the murderer, Joe Darke. Well, there you are. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. It's not money, but it does concern a chief, and his office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The chief's out now, and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around, if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. What? Really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. That's fair. How about this ID? How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's. That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Oh. That was a good idea. I didn't even think about that. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there is something we could show him that would change his mind. Anything we could show him? Bro, we got... Hold on. Bro, what could we show him? Hold on, let me read this real quick. Name of deceased, Neil Marshall, 27, male, date and time of death, February 19th, between 7 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Cause of death, single stab wound, piercing heart and lung. Assessment, died from blood loss in under 10 minutes. That's fast. 10 minutes. Weapon found in wound was missing tip. What about this? Let me share a little advice with you as a detective. If you don't have a clue, keep your trap shut. I'll keep that in mind. Sheesh. If I showed him something that would change his mind, what would that be? I don't know. I ain't gonna lie, I don't even know where to start. I already talked to him about everything. Where can I move? Can't move anywhere. I said, show him something that would change his mind. The attorney's badge? I don't know. Detective, here's my attorney's badge. You show this to me every time we meet, pal. No, I don't. Real men show their police badge. Enough said. I wish had a badge. Whoever, okay, I take back what I said about the writing earlier. This is bad grammar. I wish had a badge. Come on now. Even an ID card would be nice. Something that would change his mind. The screwdriver, since it was brought to us by Ghxst requests from Edgeworth. Nope, I didn't do anything. The knife. So no. We went through all this already. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. What could possibly... What if I showed him the unstable jar? About that jar. I think I've seen it somewhere before. Yep. It's in the picture. Somewhere. Or maybe it's one of those memories people have from previous lives. This must be the most uninformative detective I've ever met. Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me. Chief Gant. Where could I have seen that before? I'm trying to show you where you seen the thing before. I'm trying to show you the... What about I show you the autopsy report? No. floor plans, that's not gonna do anything. I don't feel like this will do me any good either. Goodman. Edgeworth's knife, that's definitely long gone. What about the ID? This ID card belongs to the victim, Detective Bruce Goodman. You can do just about anything these days with a card and a secret number. Scary. It's only scary because you keep dropping your card, Detective Goodman. I forgot my secret number a lot too. I'm scared of myself. But I'm me after all. And what could be wrong with that? I think I'll stay out of this conversation. Oh my goodness. What about the trophy? Hey, that's it! That's the King of Prosecutors Award that Mr. Edgeworth got the other day. Were you at the awards ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself. I feel like I've read this before. Ah, congratulations. I was wondering why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. Oh, brother. What about the files? I've been setting up on those files. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth's presentation. To think people are accusing him of injustice. I, for one, ain't buying it, pal. You're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah. It was a pretty big deal while it was going on, you know. After all, a serial killer was on the loose. Alana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove John Dark guilty. I don't know, man. Something I could show him that could change his mind? Is there anywhere I can, like, move to? The detention center? She ain't gonna tell me nothing. What if I went to the underground parking lot? Who could possibly be down here? No one's here today, not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. But we proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case. But instead, it looks like we ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. I got to find all the answers by tomorrow. Ain't nothing gonna help me here. Let me move back to what about the high? I'm not even gonna try the high prosecutor's office. What could I show him? What about the blue badger? This guy almost made us lose the case today. What are you talking about? He was guarding the bloodstain on the evidence locker with his life. That's more than you can say about most officers nowadays. It would have saved us a lot of trouble if he hadn't guarded it so well. I have to admit, she's right though. Or he's right though. Thanks to the blue badger, we were able to prove another possibility today. The possibility that another murder took place prior to 5:15. I don't know how to make him change his mind, but I'm gonna figure it out by the next episode because this is insane. I'm still on last episode if I'm being honest, but I'm gonna let this ride out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like to see and want more Phoenix Wright, be sure to like, comment, subscribe so we can keep up, so we can figure out what this man needs to change his mind. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Sometimes I love myself.